First session of 2025 about to go down then. I'm all mic'd up. I'm going to walk you through what I do, why I'm doing it, and talk about my goals as well for the year. So, yeah, let's go. Come on then, another year trying to grow these bastard things. $15 to 20. Whee! Baby! One thing then that my last photo shoot taught me really was kind of how many areas were kind of underdeveloped to what I thought they were. I think that's a good kind of benefit to come out with actually dieting down, actually to see what you're actually working with in relation to muscle. So yeah, my actual kind of focus within this kind of full body block is a lot more chest emphasis, arms and upper back as well, which you'll see in later videos. So it'll involve prioritising them first in the session, but also as well more volume across my week. So yeah, a little tip for anybody who's wanting to kind of bring out your physique more, or a certain muscle group or groups. One thing that is going to help you make yourself more aware is actually dieting down, pulling that body fat off, and then seeing what you're working with. And for me, that's solely really being able to kind of come to my attention off the back of dieting. Yeah, I think for too long I used to think I was bigger than I was, and I wasn't. So yeah, 2025, this is going to be the year where I'm going to be looking to put on a lot more size in the right areas, and not just a load of body fat like before. So yeah. Stretch, squeeze. Ooh. Ooh. Wow. Come on, baby, 2 more. 5. Come on, this one. Ooh. Ooh, you bastard. Ooh. Come on, let's get these done. You bastard. Come on then, you bugger. One. Oh. Let's talk then about all things goal setting, reviewing the last 12 months, but also as well looking ahead to 2025. Now, there's a lot of you guys, no doubt, who are coming into this new year and almost feel obliged to kind of pigeonhole yourself into some kind of weight loss program. You want to lose weight, you want to tone up, whatever it may be. And without any clear direction, and you just kind of saying it but not having an actual plan of attack as to how you're going to achieve it, this is why, yet again, like you do time after time, year after year, find yourself come the end of January, coming into Feb, you kind of lose track a little, you kind of get distracted, and you're on this almost hamster wheel of doing the same thing year in, year out. Now, my advice, if you're somebody who is doing that, is instead of looking long-term, i.e. 12 months,
break things down almost into what I like to call quarterly quests. So every 12 weeks, every 3-month blocks, focus on kind of 2 to 4 things or changes or goals that you want to achieve within that time. And there's so many benefits to it. I think 2 of the main ones why I do it as well is, one is it's, much more achievable. The idea of, mentally focusing on kind of 3 months as opposed to 12 months, almost the buy-in is a lot higher than thinking, shit, I've got to commit to this long term. I think number 2 as well is things can change. So if you commit to the next 12 months and you play that long game, but if something, for whatever reason, whether it derails you or it forces you to change course somewhat, then what? If you haven't really got a contingency plan in place as to how to be reactive to it, this is again why you find yourself becoming distracted and almost disregarding your goals altogether. I also want you as well to own the last 12 months and own it if you've had a lot of success. Acknowledge it, celebrate your wins. The whole idea around success leaving clues. Why was the last 12 months so successful and so productive for you? And obviously then that's going to increase your chances of repeating it come 2025. But also as well, if you're coming into this new year feeling a little deflated, a little kind of pissed off with things, a little downbeat, own that as well. Because there will have been, when you ask yourself that question as to why that might have been the case, there will be lessons in there for you to learn to ensure then that you don't go down the same road again this year. I used to do this all the time. Whenever I'd kind of set my sights on something at the start of the year and then come the end of the year and I was no further on, or I didn't feel like I'd, covered a lot of ground and I'd really moved the needle with things, I'd just kind of write my chances off, write the year off, and not necessarily be starting the next year on a positive foot. It was, I felt obliged to get going again. I'd be, kind of favouring more extreme methods to help in my mind to play catch up and to right my wrongs or to cover ground quicker, whatever kind of negative label I might have put to it. I think though coming into this new year and you being in control and you really taking more ownership and responsibility as to, again, why you had a really successful year or, why last year might have not gone to plan, it puts you in the driver's seat. Because I think, especially if you've had a year that, has left you a little deflated, not really feeling accomplished with things, and then you start kind of blaming circumstance, deflecting responsibility, how are you then going to be able to turn things around if it's as a result of other things or other people that have resulted in you not having the year that you wanted? So this is why, this is something I bang on to clients about, is you really want to be taking control at every single opportunity. Again, don't pass the buck, don't kick the can down the road, don't be, kind of blaming everything and again everyone. Own it. Because in owning it, this is what will change the whole narrative around what you're going to be doing coming into this new year. You're going to be way more intrinsically motivated with things. You're going to be driven. You're going to be looking for opportunities where you can win. You're going to be almost having that kind of glass half full approach to everything moving forward. So, yeah, listen, it's always an exciting time of the year, is, kind of January 1st in particular. And whilst there's been a lot of reflection these last couple of days, there's also a lot of excitement around what the 12 months could potentially have in store. My advice, as always, is go into things with a plan. Don't go in blind. Don't wing it. Don't just, see where it takes you, because you've done that too often. You've done the same thing year in, year out, and it's resulted in you having this same conversation with yourself again come this year, right? So things need to change. The approach needs to change. The focus needs to change. And I feel doing what I've just listed before, of really reviewing things in a much more positive sense, taking ownership, asking yourself those at times hard-hitting questions that, you've probably been reluctant to answer because you might have felt they've exposed you or they might have called you out, in order to grow, in order to get better, in order to, really take things to that next level, you need to step up, you need to take ownership, and there has to be a massive level of responsibility within all of this, especially if you want to, get fitter, healthier, stronger. If you want to be an example to everything and everyone around you, you have to step up. You have to almost lay yourself bare a little bit and be like, right, what do I need to do to plug the gaps and get to where I want to be? And again, like I said at the top, don't go into things with kind of too many loose intentions. Again, I want to lose a bit of weight. I want to get fitter. Like, well, what does that mean? Get really crystal clear on what that actually means to you, what that actually looks like, and then reverse engineer back from that time frame that you place, that goal within. You going into this new year again saying, I want to lose weight or I want to turn up, right? By when? How much do you want to lose? How do you want to look? How do you want to feel? What kind of numbers do you want to be kind of working with? We're talking about kind of the gym as well in all of this. And again, reverse engineer back from that. And I think that's why I said again, when we were talking about those kind of quarterly quests and breaking things down into, kind of smaller, more bite-sized, achievable chunks, those kind of 3-month blocks, you can almost kind of build momentum quicker by chasing down these mini goals. So yeah, listen, I'm buzzed for it. I've done this in business as well as with my own training, my own physique and my own goals. And I'll be talking about that in a later video. But yeah, this is by far the most motivated I've ever been coming into a new year. I did a post the other day on my Instagram talking about, whilst there was a lot of positives to come out of last year, there was a lot of things that I feel I'd fallen short on. And I'll be honest, I was a bit reluctant to kind of post that or even talk about that, about, some things that I didn't really fulfill. But I think it's really it's important, to be honest about, I'm just like you guys as well. There's things at times that won't go to plan, that might distract you, that might derail you if you let them. And in order for me to kind of flip the script on things and again, put that control back on my plate, I need to own why it didn't work. So yeah, it was a bit of it was a conversation I had with myself that again I was a bit reluctant to have, but I needed to have it in order to know the answers around how I can, make sure it doesn't happen again come 2025. So yeah, listen guys, have the best 12 months. Make this your year. Think bigger, be better, push the envelope with things. Don't settle. Don't wait. Don't hope things change, because it doesn't. The only way in which you're going to be getting to where you want to be, and then this time next year, reviewing on your year and being pumped and motivated and excited for the next 12 months is by what you do now. Set that tone now. Be driven, be focused, at times be selfish, prioritize you in all of this, and amazing things can happen.